I was standing in front of the counter, holding the last money in my hands. With a determined sigh and hoping for the best, I bought a lottery ticket. My hands were shaking, and my heart was beating so hard that I could feel it in my ears. When I saw the numbers on the lottery ticket, I lost the ability to move. My name is Jennifer, and this is my story. It was Christmas Eve, and the table was set with all sorts of delectable treats. Grandma's turkey glistened in the dim candlelight, and Uncle Pete's famous mashed potatoes oozed with butter. As the night wore on, amidst the sound of laughter and the tinkle of silverware, the fortune biscuits were brought out. Aunt Jane, the more adventurous one, handed out the biscuit to each of us, insisting, "Go on, see what the future holds." As people cracked them open, they laughed, commenting on the absurdity or the vagueness of their fortunes. I gently cracked mine open, and as I read the little paper inside, my eyes widened. "You will win $10 million in the lottery." Everyone took turns reading their fortunes aloud. When it was my turn, I hesitated for a moment, but then, feeling the weight of all eyes on me, I read it out. A ripple of laughter broke out. "Oh, how wonderful!" Aunt Jane exclaimed, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Make sure to share with the rest of us," Uncle Pete chimed in. Despite the jests and jokes, something within me ignited. An unshakable belief. I wanted to believe, so I did. I believed in that tiny slip of paper more than I had ever believed in anything. From that day onwards, every week, I'd save a little from my meager paycheck to buy a lottery ticket. Every week, without fail. The cashier Mary at the convenience store would give me a half-pitying, half-amused smile each time, but I didn't care. Months rolled by, and each week my ritual remained unchanged. My family would often bring up my fortune at gatherings, turning it into a running joke. I smiled through it all, holding on to that glimmer of belief. It wasn't just about the money. It was about proving to myself and everyone else that sometimes, just sometimes, you can shape your destiny with sheer will and belief. Years went by, and my life changed in ways I hadn't imagined on that fateful Christmas Eve. I fell in love with Alex, a humble librarian who had his roots in poetry and prose. We had 2 wonderful children, Liam and Ilara. And as life went on, the story of the fortune biscuit, though still retold, faded in the hubbub of life's daily chores and routines. Alex never questioned my ritual, and the kids grew up seeing me scratch those tickets every week. It had become less about the money and more about holding on to a piece of a past. Our home was filled with laughter, stories, and memories. Alex often read tales of heroes and heroines to the children, and I shared stories from my life, of dreams, and of the magic of believing. Yet, it was my undying ritual with the lottery tickets that silently spoke the loudest. Ilara, our eldest, took to the habit with amusement. She often accompanied me to buy the tickets, her young face lighting up with the thrill of it, hoping to witness another miracle. Liam, our youngest, was different. Quiet and observant, he watched, but rarely commented. Then, one day, as I sat scratching off a ticket, Liam, now a teenager, hesitated before saying, "Mom, you know, some of the kids at school, they laugh. They say their parents laugh about you still buying lottery tickets. They say you're chasing an old dream." I looked up, meeting his searching eyes. Alex, hearing our conversation, stopped reading and glanced over. Ilara shifted uncomfortably on the couch. I took a deep breath. "Liam," I began softly, "do you know why I still buy these tickets?" He shook his head. "Because of the fortune biscuit?" I chuckled. "Partly, but it's more than that. It's not about winning again. It's about remembering to believe in possibilities, no matter how unlikely they seem." Alex added, "It's like reading a good book, buddy. You know how the story goes, you know the ending, but you read it again to relive the emotions, to remember the lessons it taught." Liam looked thoughtful. But if people are laughing, doesn't it bother you? It did, at first, I admitted. But over time, I've realized that everyone has their own journey of belief. Mine just happens to be a little more public. I winked. Alara chimed in. Mom's lottery tickets taught me that sometimes you've got to hold on to something, even if the whole world thinks you're silly. It's not about them. It's about what it means to you. Liam contemplated our words, and after a silent moment, he said, "Can I scratch the next one?" I handed him the ticket with a smile. As he began to scratch, our little living room, filled with books and memories, seemed to hold its breath. Time passed, and life brought its shares of ups and downs. Alara went off to college, chasing her dream of becoming a writer, inspired by her father's love for stories. Liam, with his introspective nature, took an interest in philosophy and the human psyche. Throughout the changes, the lottery tickets remained a constant. It was our family's quirky legacy, a symbol of unwavering belief amidst the ever-changing tides of life. And as the years went by, Liam, who once questioned the ritual, became its most ardent participant. Every week, he'd be there, ready with a coin to scratch off the numbers, his face lit with the same hope and belief that I felt all those years ago. The legacy of the fortune biscuit, it seemed, wasn't just about a win. It was about passing down a spirit of hope, resilience, and belief from one generation to the next. A testament that sometimes holding on to something, even in the face of ridicule, can shape not just your destiny, but that of those who come after you. The years continued their relentless march, bringing with them a myriad of changes. My hair now boasted strands of silver, and the lines on my face told stories of love, laughter, and life's lessons. Alex and I watched with pride as our children crafted lives of their own. Alara's words filled the pages of bestsellers, while Liam became a sought-after speaker, traveling the world and sharing his insights on the human spirit. One evening, as autumn painted the trees in hues of gold and crimson, I felt an inexplicable urge. The thought came suddenly, whispering to me like an old friend. It was time to buy my last lottery ticket. The next day, with the crisp fall air caressing my face, I walked to the same convenience store. Mary had long since retired, and the store was now managed by her grandson, Jake. He recognized me instantly, his face breaking into a smile. "Here for the usual?" he asked. I nodded. "But today's special. It's my last one." Jake's eyes widened in surprise. "The last one?" "Yes," I said, a soft smile playing on my lips. "Sometimes you just know when a chapter is about to end." He handed me the ticket with a reverence I hadn't expected. "Well, I hope you will definitely get lucky this time." I thanked him and headed home. The walk back felt nostalgic, each step echoing with memories of every hope-filled journey I'd taken to that store. When I reached home, the entire family had gathered, as if they all sensed the significance of the moment. I settled into my favorite chair, the ticket and a coin in hand. The room was thick with anticipation. Alex sat beside me, his hand in mine, while Alara and Liam stood close, watching intently. As I scratched off the first number, a familiar thrill ran through me. One by one, the numbers revealed themselves, and I was stunned. The numbers? They matched. A hushed silence filled the room, the weight of the realization slowly settling in. I had won 10 million. Liam let out a breathy laugh. "You've got to be kidding me." Alara's eyes were moist as she said, "It's like a fairy tale." Alex squeezed my hand, whispering, "Looks like the universe had one more surprise for us." In the ensuing days, news of the win spread far and wide. Many were in disbelief, others called it fate, and some even called it a well-timed miracle. But as I stood amidst the whirlwind of attention and excitement, I realized the win wasn't the miracle. The true miracle was the journey itself, the unwavering belief, the commitment to hope, the resilience against doubt and ridicule, and the lesson it imparted to my children. As I sat down one evening, penning my thoughts in a journal, I reflected on everything: the first fortune biscuit, the years of buying tickets, the laughter and skepticism of others, and now this. And I concluded, sometimes miracles do come true. They may not arrive when we first envision them, nor in the manner we expect. But with unwavering belief and patience, the universe has a way of completing the circle, even after many, many years. And with that, I closed my journal, content in the knowledge that life, with all its mysteries and wonders, never truly stops surprising us. The key is to keep believing, always.